Rick Harrison's life has been very hard this year, 2025. People outside of porn star think he's their boss, but behind the scenes, he's been through heartbreak, rumors of jail time, and even the show being paused in February 2025. Rick has had to deal with other things in 2025 as well, and it looks like he is now staying out of sight. Where is he now? It's not what you thought would happen. The 19th of January 2024 was the worst day of Rick Harrison's life. Rick got a call that day. Adam Harrison had died. He was his second son. Adam had been dead for 39 years. Fans didn't know what to think when they heard the facts about the autopsy. They didn't know that Adam was having trouble with drugs. Adam had died in a Las Vegas guest house after taking too much fentanyl and methamphetamine by chance. Blamed ELAC's policies on the border for his son's death in public. Rick was deeply upset by his death, and the pain remained for a long time. But now, in 2025, Rick has done something that might help him feel better. What did he do? Adam worked for a short time at the pawn shop for gold and silver, but he stayed out of the porn star's way. Adam couldn't handle the constant noise of his dad's junk shop like Corey could. So he left, but Rick knew that he had been addicted to drugs for years. Rick even helped his son get into rehab and was there for him while he was getting better. But Adam's problems went deeper, and no matter what Rick did, they took over his life. Rick has his own problems with drugs as well. Rick is hooked on his show Porn Star instead of drugs, though. Porn Star first aired on July 19, 2009, right after Rick Harrison's gold and silver porn shop took place. It has become one of the most popular TV shows since it first aired. It was the most watched show on the History Channel and the second most watched reality show after Jersey Shore at dawn. In January 2011, Rick Harrison wrote a book called License to Porn Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver, which came out on June 7, 2011 and was a big hit because of the show. His book became a big hit right away, and by June 26, 2011, it was at number 22 on the New York Times bestseller list. After getting a taste of success, Rick worked hard to keep it up. That being said, Rick is not perfect. He has done things that hurt his image, and we will talk about those soon. You could even say that some of the choices he's made have made 2025 less easy for him. Even though the show did well, in February 2025, Rick told a shocking truth. The History Channel, which showed the show, didn't give Rick and his team a new deal. The well-known show that gave rise to hit spin-offs like American Restoration, Cajun Porn Stars, and Counting Cars no longer has a home. Rick isn't giving up, though. It seems like he still has what it takes to get the show going. He is working on getting shooting to start up again, and is looking into other ways to make the show better, which he called Porn Stars 2.0. Rick would not say that the show had been canceled. Instead, he would say that it was taking a long break. When will Porn Stars come back? Or have we seen the last of it? What will happen to the actors if they can't film again? Rick and his Porn Stars co-star Austin Chumley Russell have determined that making content for the show is what they want to do with their lives. They made a show called Porn After Dark in February 2025, but it has nothing to do with history. That way, they won't get in trouble with the law and can finally start shooting again. There is one thing that Rick's first son, Corey Big Hoss Harrison, will never watch the show again. Does this mean that shooting for the show won't start up again? Why would Corey quit the show so quickly? He's an important part of it. Corey is going, and Adam is dead. How would Rick handle being where he is now? Corey recently said that he is not in talks to renew his deal and does not want to be. Did something happen between him and his dad in the background that they're not letting us know? If there is, it would not be the first time that the Harrison family members caused trouble or had disagreements over the show. Soon we'll tell you about their biggest fight yet. News stories say that Corey doesn't care about the show. He no longer lives in Las Vegas and now lives in Tulum, Mexico. My dad is going to work until he fails. That's not me at all, Corey said. He packed his bags and left when the show was paused, and he saw that his father and friend Chumley weren't going on after 22 seasons. Corey didn't leave to work in Mexico. He went to Tulum because he deserves a long break. How much money did he have saved? Is he going to work? On the Caribbean coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, Tulum is a popular place to go on vacation. It is famous for its beaches and the ruins of an old Mayan city that are still in good shape. Corey is supposed to be spending his days resting and not worrying about anything, but he messed up. He said that porn stars were not real. What a shock, right? How could Corey come up with that idea? Soon you'll know. Hello, Corey is getting ready to open a business. Also, it has nothing to do with porn stars. He is working with partners in and around Tulum to open a barbecue joint. He even gave this joint a name, Big Hoss's Smoking Joint. Does he have the skills to run a grill business? In the area, he is a big star, and important leaders and government officials hang out with him. It's possible that Big Hoss is counting on his fame to help him get customers, just like he has been doing for years with porn stars' fans. Corey said that he and the other actors started to play a different role instead of their real selves after a while on the show. He told her, "I can't play another season of 41-year-old me pretending to be 23. That means that he has mostly stuck with the character he started the show with at the beginning. Could it be that no one knows who Corey, Chumlee, or even Rick really is? Rick seems like a cool, tough, and reliable person, but is he really that way?" There have been hints that Rick isn't really the patient person he plays on TV. Rick has owned a pawn shop for many years, but he doesn't always have the patience to do skilled work, the different kinds of people who come through his doors, like that October 2011 time. Around that time, 62-year-old disabled Vietnam veteran Daniel Callahan took a Model 96B gun to the gold and silver pawn shop to get its value. Daniel says that he, Rick Harrison, and Richard Oldman, Daniel's father, got into a fight. Daniel said that Rick and Richard Harrison choked him, dragged him through the store, and threw him out on the sidewalk while they were fighting. Daniel claimed that the father and son had hit him and sued them for $20,000 for injuries he said he got during the fight. Daniel made a lot of claims that Rick and his dad didn't believe. Corey then said that Rick and Richard weren't even there when Daniel had a problem. Corey said that Danny was acting strangely and they thought he might be able to fire the gun he was carrying. The staff dealt with it in a way that they knew would keep everyone safe. Rick was able to defend himself in that case, but he has since been accused of putting down, ignoring, and disrespecting his customers. People often feel insulted when he gives them prices that are so low. In the episode of the show called Another Christmas Story, a man went into a store to buy an NBA championship ring. The customer was interested in Rick's 1975 Golden State Warriors that was set with diamonds. The customer didn't know that Rick kept the ring shop for his fiancée, to whom he later proposed. Someone already wanted to buy the ring, which made Rick mad. He cared so much about it, so why not just take it off the display? This customer asked Rick about the ring, and Rick told them about it. But things got tense when the customer asked Rick if the ring was real. The customer wanted to use his own diamond tester to check if the ring was real, which was a fair thing to do. Rick was mad that the customer wouldn't believe him, though. He was furious as the customer used his own diamond tester to check the quality of the diamond. The customer saw for sure that the ring's diamonds were real. After the customer made an offer of $5,500, Rick set the final price at $11,000. Rick wouldn't lower the price, and the customer was upset that Rick wouldn't work with him on the price tag. His surprise at Rick's hostile behavior made him think that Rick was going to beat him up. Not only the buyer, but also other people who deal with Rick would feel that way. Someone came into the gold and silver pawn shop on June 22nd. It should have been a normal exchange. If only Rick Harrison had been able to control his anger and irritation. Rick and the customer were doing business together, but Rick lost his temper when they talked about prices, and they got into a heated fight. Their fight didn't end with an argument, which was a shame. A full-on physical fight started because of it. The customer said Rick started to threaten to beat them up, so they left the shop for their own safety. But they wouldn't forgive Rick for making threats, so as soon as they left the shop, they called the police. Rick was caught by the cops and taken to court. Fans were shocked when they heard that Rick had been jailed for attempted battery, which is a misdemeanor. They thought Rick would not attack a customer. Richard was taken to court and pleaded guilty to the crime he did. Rick said he was sorry for what he did and felt bad about it. He said he would be more responsible from now on. He got 2 years of probation and 30 days of community work from the judge. He got into trouble with the law, which is something that a lot of porn stars have done. It looked like people didn't know Rick as well as they thought they did, which hurt his pride. And even though his guilty plea was small compared to other porn stars' caste problems, a lot of people still didn't expect it. People also didn't think that Chumlee, the show's funny sidekick, would be involved in a big scandal in March 2016. In March, someone told the cops that Chumlee had raped a woman. So the cops went to his Las Vegas home to look into the sexual assault claim. They couldn't find any proof of the sexual attack claim. There were no charges, but the cops found something else. In Chumlee's house, police found crystal meth, marijuana, Xanax, a tranquilizer, and a number of legal and illegal guns. Right away, the police caught him and put 20 felony charges against him in court. Fans were shocked when news outlets talked about Chumlee's scandal. Chumlee was the crazy guy on the show, and the serious charges that came after what the cops found in his house went against his happy personality. A lot of people thought that Chumlee was family-friendly until he was arrested. In May 2016, Chumlee took a plea deal and had to leave the show for a while. He admitted that he did have guns and tried to have drugs, which is a misdemeanor. 3 years of probation were given to Chumless. He had to stay out of trouble until 2019 if he wanted the crime charge to be dropped. In order to stay out of jail, Chumley also had to go to therapy and give up his guns and drugs. Later, Chumley went back to porn stars. Luckily, he hasn't been arrested since then, which means he followed the rules of his probation. His friend Corey got into a lot of trouble, but Chumless stayed out of it. People thought of Corey as a smooth talker and a good deal. People thought he wouldn't get into trouble, but they were wrong. It was around 2 a.m. in 2023, and Corey was driving his white Ford pickup near Main Street and Charleston Boulevard. He was swerving between lines, though. A police officer thought something was wrong with the way he was driving. He chose to stop Corey because of this. When the cops came up to Corey, he smelled like alcohol and had bloodshot, watery eyes. The cops thought Corey had been drinking, but Corey said he hadn't been drinking all night. He said he drank something sevy.